We're here with Elise Harrington, who thinks a lot about how climate change, resource sustainability, and energy transitions are reshaping our future. Elise, how do you help our students think critically about water, energy, and sustainability?
Thanks, Nisha. I think we use kind of a lot of strategies to help our students think critically about these complex issues because they're complex and they're very interrelated. A set of those have to do with kind of the strategies we use in the classroom, helping people think through case studies or debates on issues that they may know something about but might not be really familiar with. This could be something like how do we extract enough lithium to support our future energy system that needs a lot of things like batteries. Could also be, what does it look like to tackle some of the issues that sit at the intersection of how we use our land for both agriculture but also kind of making sure to preserve areas for water and sustainability.
Do the students have a chance to spend time outside of the classroom exploring these topics?
Absolutely, and I'd say we do that in kind of two different ways. One, I guess, is in the classroom, but bringing those external perspectives in through practitioners. Often our wonderful kind of network of Humphrey alums who are working in all of these areas at all sorts of levels of government, both locally as well as nationally and internationally. And by getting people out there. So we, you might think field trips are just for high school or younger, but we do field trips here too. We get people into downtown St. Paul to look at their district energy, or we get people out into the more rural parts of both our state and region to look at what are energy projects going on there. What does it look like to see the energy transition firsthand? And those are really important complements to our aspects in the classroom that really challenge people to think not only about issues, but about their values and how their values inform the kind of options that they see as a part of that kind of future for energy and water.
I think that's fantastic, and the students have a really great opportunity to learn in the classroom, to be challenged through, I'm sure, the intense discussions that occur there, and then to hear from our alum, but also other friends and guest speakers who come into the classrooms. What are some of the big takeaways for students as they navigate these topics in your classroom?
I think one of the things that I learn alongside with the students every year is that they often come into the classroom thinking, I definitely know what I think the future of this particular aspect of something should be. I know we should do this in our energy system, or we should definitely ban this thing, and they leave being like, wow, it's much more complicated. Going from a perspective that is often thought of as kind of black and white, yes or no, to one that really has many shades of gray. And that is because these are complex problems that require not just working on technical solutions, but on thinking about the people and the social systems. And that adds on these layers of complexity that I think students over time really learn to appreciate.
So perhaps as a final word, could you give us a sense of how the future of energy and water connects to our other three constellations, which are constructive dialogue, economic prosperity, and human rights and humanitarianism?
I think the future of energy and water is tightly tied to each one of those. And so if you look at something like human rights, you think very much about how and where are we using and extracting resources, and what are the conditions that people are facing. That is also very tied to things like economic prosperity. How are people and who is benefiting from the changes in these systems? And constructive dialogue requires working across our differences, right? We talked about how these issues are related to our values and our beliefs, what we think we should be doing with our natural world. And that requires a lot of conversations across difference.
Elise, thanks so much.
Thank you.
This was such an enjoyable conversation.